Lovers Quarrel. It's a long sustained quarrel.
What's going on, world?
Hey, everybody.
It's your guy, TJ, Mr. New Cool.
And this is your girl, Dani, your terribly tired turtle.
Have you used that before?
Maybe terribly tired, but
Okay.
I definitely turtles new. So
I hate turtles.
Oh.
Why do you hate turtles?
Turtles are cute.
Because Justin was gifted a pet turtle, and I have to take care of it. So,
fair.
it's fucking disgusting.
That happened to my grandmother. She was gifted like two turtles.
I thought she had like 6.
Yeah, it started as 2, and then they had babies. So she had
hell
6, 7 just big turtles. And
I don't have to worry about any babies. There's only one, but
Yeah.
it's just still disgusting.
I didn't know turtles were going to be triggering. I'm sorry. Well, that being said, a great way to start us off. Welcome to another episode of Lovers Quarrel. How you doing?
I'm doing good. In yourself?
I'm all right. You know what? I'm not lying. I am really fucking tired. I was up very late doing homework because y'all know I'm on a grad school grind and I'm running on fumes right now. But I'm still okay. Thank you. And as you heard, we have another voice here. We have a guest. Say hi.
Hi.
And of course, like always, we'll introduce her a little later in the episode. But now that we're back at it, it's time for some elevator talk. Do you want to go first, sir? Or do you...
Nah, go ahead.
Okay.
Let me see where you're going with this.
Going up. We'll do that because it's not really a bad thing. It's kind of it's like in the middle. So the Oscars just aired, right? Mm-hmm. Did you watch the Oscars?
I don't watch the Oscars, but I look at the red carpet.
Okay, fair enough. And that's
the good part.
Yeah, it is the good part. So I did love the red carpet. I'm like. Not so much since life has gotten more hectic, but I definitely have been somebody who's always a fan of like award show season. Like I like watching the fashion and the red carpet and the speeches and all that good stuff. And the Oscars is obviously like the holy grail of like all award seasons. The last one, and everybody like pulls out all the stops. But in watching it, and I know like this particular award show. Let me know that like we don't ever need a host again because that whole like Kevin Hart thing.
Who was the host?
It was supposed to be Kevin Hart, but then he got in trouble for kind of like old tweets talking about like gay people, and then like he came out and said that he apologized, but it was kind of like I already said I'm sorry about this. I'm not gonna say it again. Like you're not gonna get me to apologize again. So then he like kind of removed himself and said I'm not gonna host, and then they were trying to scramble to find another host, and then they ultimately decided not to have a host. And in my opinion, the show did not miss anything by not having a host. They had the people present, they had a couple people say a couple of things, whatever. It was funny, and it ended on time, which is like rare because it's a 3-hour show,
right?
And it's always like going. So I was like, I just felt like, you know, I like that it didn't have a host because it just kind of was able to keep things going. Shout out to all the black winners.
Yeah.
Because you have Regina King and you have Ruth Carter and Hannah Bleeker, I think her name is. Like all these black women especially, and even just people of color.
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee, yes.
Long overdue.
Yes, I was very excited about that. But then also too, I was like, I definitely side-eyed the shit out of Green Book winning. I didn't even see it, but...
Why'd you side?
Because it's so like the issue with that is I'm not taking away that like Mahershala Ali, who also won, nominated 2 times, won both times, but that he wasn't like good in it. And let me back up. I haven't even seen it, but I know he's a good actor. Like we know what it is. But the point I'm trying to make is that Green Book was kind of one of those like when I kept reading about it, people had like mixed feelings about it because they were calling it like one of them like white savior movies where like the white man comes in and learns how to not be racist, and you know, and then when you watch the movie them win, like all these white men got up on stage to like take this award, and they thanked like Viggo Mortensen, who was the white guy in the film, not Mahershala Ali, not Don. I think his name is Don Shirley's family, I believe is his name. Like it didn't like vibe right. It was just kind of like, look at me, you know, saving a Negro, and I like so. And Spike Lee didn't like it either, and
I heard he had like an outburst. Didn't he?
Yeah, they said he walked out. Like he was like, nah, he walked out. They asked him after like, you know, they did like a little press conference right after they win, and they asked him about it, and he just kept sipping his champagne. He's like, he didn't want to talk about it, and that is like a gif of Chadwick Boseman when they announced Green Book winning, and he like turns around and he like looks at somebody like I can't describe it on the podcast, but he kind of had the face like, nigga, I knew it. Like this shit is dumb. So saying that all to say, like I do like I like the award season. I always like watching the fashion and everything. Billy Porter, I really was a fan of the tux gown, or as some people in my family have called it, the town. What do you think?
I don't know who he is.
He's on Pose, but did you see him? He's like
I saw it, but I didn't understand. So
I didn't understand it either.
I just didn't get. Is he gay in real life?
Yeah, he's gay. So
he always wears dresses.
No, he doesn't always wear dresses. He wore. So apparently he wore that.
I didn't know who he was. So I saw this man in this massive dress coming down the red carpet, and I was like, "Who is that?" Yeah,
so he's on the show Pose on FX, which is the one about like the balls that like the I don't want to call them the drag balls. I don't want to be inappropriate, like say the wrong thing, but like the balls that they used to have like the trans community like in New York in the 80s, like or whatever. So he's on that show and it got really popular, and so he's been like all around the awards season and like doing that, and he's been like slaying in his own way, but like in like tuxes and like, you know, like some things are like more colorful, whatever you want to call it. But then he decided to do this like tux at the top, gown at the bottom.
Well, he definitely made a statement.
He did. So, but I was here for it. And then I thought Regina King looked bomb.
She did.
I thought, of course, Angela Bassett, who ages backwards. Like,
yeah, I'm obsessed with the Crazy Rich Asians cast. They look so good.
They still look very, very
All
rich.
of them look really good.
Did you know that I know I have random facts, but did you know that lady, the mom, remember the ring in the movie that was like a
yeah.
So that's her real ring. Like it's a real,
really?
It's a real emerald like ring.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the mom, like she's like, oh, I have something for this, and then she like that was like the centerpiece of the film. So, but yeah, so I just like it, and I don't know, it's very fancy, and everybody likes to dress up sometimes, and you know, get all gussied up.
Absolutely.
So that's my elevator talk. With that, I know I was a little long-winded, but
you're always long-winded.
The shade.
That was a shade.
It's very shady.
No.
Where am I going? Am I going up or am I going
down? You can stay up.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say. So yesterday, I watched a movie.
This nigga.
Called Plug Love.
You see how we go?
And I was pleasantly surprised.
We go from class and elegance and Black Hollywood.
I'll take that.
To
I wasn't expecting
Love of the Plug.
No, it's called Plug Love.
Oh, excuse me, I stand corrected. Hood booger movies.
Yes, it was a hood booger movie.
Oh, this is like a blockbuster movie.
Yes,
yeah. Like it wasn't only go direct to Netflix.
Okay,
it was on Amazon Prime.
Okay,
Prime ain't cheap.
I know. I paid a membership.
Exactly.
Student discount though.
I'm just saying so.
And you were pleasantly surprised.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Was everything spelled right in the credits?
I didn't check for that. But the camera looked good, you know. It looked like it was shot in HD. Mm-hmm. I was, you know, small things make me happy. It wasn't
done all on somebody's iPhone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like the camera was shaking or anything like that.
And that made you really happy? Yeah. You know what? I support it. I'm happy for you.
Listen, you got to take the small victories.
Okay. You know, I watch movies that are wide release, and TJ watch.
I watch anything. if it catches my attention, I'm there.
Terrible.
It was a good movie.
So he and Shayla, they bond over.
We do
hood booger movies.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is fun, wonderful.
Listen, you gotta be you can't be bougie like you know. You gotta be.
I'm not bougie. I just have
to watch everything.
Having standards doesn't make somebody bougie.
I guess.
I have movie standards. I'd like there to be a beginning, a middle, an end.
It has that. All of that. It makes sense. It has all of that.
It has all of that.
All of that.
Okay. Well, anywho, moving right along.
You didn't see if our guest had anything.
That's what I'm about to get to.
My fault.
Let me do my job.
My fault. You be slacking
sometimes. This is why we call it
sometimes.
Lovers Quarrel. So, Kelley, is there anything that's on your mind, spirit, that you are feeling good about, that you were like that you was grinding your gears lately, that you want to share out?
Grinding my gears. I don't think so. I'm in a really good place.
Good.
All week, all month, I've been reading a lot of amazing books, and I'm just There's no one was grinding my gears at all.
That's perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, excellent Black History Month.
Yes. Well, this Black History Month was kind of wild.
It was pretty trash.
It was wild. They really came. I mean, I feel like everybody came for us this month.
Yeah.
I mean, we had our Kelley, we had Jussie, we had just the list goes on and on. It's just.
Yeah. Did you see somebody said that? I saw somebody posted and it was like, imagine if you won the prison talent show for the last 6 years running in and you hear that Jussie and R. Kelly are coming.
So fucked up. But it's really been a mess. I was reading one comment and it was like, this Black History Month has been ghetto as fuck. Because it was just, there's so many things that happened. I can't even think of them all right now. So I'm just like I'm ready for March because we need a do-over.
Yeah, that's they said the Oscars was kind of like a little bit of a redemption part. But yeah, we're gonna leave this one behind us. I wish it was. Beyonce just needs to come up with new music in February.
I know, right? That would fix it. Well, how many days we got left?
Like
3 more days. Yeah. So I don't know.
Hopefully, Beyonce can redeem all. But that's good though. I'm glad that you've been having a good February.
Yeah, I'm doing amazing.
That's awesome. But with that being said, we're going to wrap Elevator Talk up and move into our relationship tip of the week. I'm going to ask again. Do you want to go first? Or would you like me to go
I'm going to let you go.
All right. So Kelley, you can chime in or let us know who had the better one. As I always tell our guests, this used to be just my segment, but TJ bogarted. Okay. So
you're afraid of a little friendly competition?
Not at all, because my my advice is always sound, logical, helpful, thoughtful, all the fulls.
I guess.
Yours are
straight to the point.
Questionable at best.
That's crazy to me.
It can be crazy.
A lot of times, it's
crazy to a lot of people.
A lot of times, your tips is based off of me. So.
Well, you are my subject matter, my case. Like you are it.
So I win.
We're not
Cite your source.
We're not doing that. So, my relationship tip of the week is I saw something on Facebook, and it was, I don't know if any of you guys have heard of this, I guess relationship guru guy or like life coach person named Derek Jackson. So
cut the cards.
I guess I don't know what that means.
He got like a card game or something.
The
you talked about him before.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
I have no idea who this is.
Yeah, so he's like one of them people, he has an Instagram
expert.
Yeah, basically. Okay. So and I mean sometimes he says stuff that's cool, but he was talking about, somebody posted something and he was responding to somebody else, and it was saying like this woman had like a male best friend of say like a decade or something like that, and he's been in a relationship with a woman for 2 months, and the woman of 2 months like wants him to cease contact with the best friend. And so he was making the argument for women's intuition, and that if the girlfriend feels like the best friend is moving funny, then it's perfectly valid to ask her man to not like interact with his friend or anything like that, and so he was saying that, and my initial reaction to that was I disagreed, because I'm just like, why? I mean, again, if you don't know the whole backstory, like if they used to sleep together or whatever, like there's that. But if we're just saying they're strictly platonic, always just been friends for this entire time, then why is it that you have to cut off your friend just because they are of the opposite sex as you? So it led me to the tip, which is that if you're going to be in a relationship, your partner and your like circle of friends should be able to get along. I'm not saying that they have to be best friends, that they got to do things without you and like hit each other up or anything like that, but there needs to be some type of like, we're all on the same page, we're cool with each other, we can enjoy each other's company when we're around each other in the best case scenario, because and so I guess it's about making sure that or testing those waters early enough to make sure that that's going to be the case, because I don't think, and I mean people come in your life for reasons and seasons, but let's say this is like your foundation of friends that like they're not going anywhere. And if you hope that your partner isn't going anywhere, then we're going to have to make this work. And so, or you guys are going to need to be on the same page. So it just is a tip that like, if you still feel like if you feel like you're getting serious with someone, you really want to make sure that you create those opportunities for them your friends and your partner to come together to make sure that vibes. I'm not saying that if it doesn't work out, that you have to, you know, dump that person or dump your friends or anything like that. But you should try to like foster those like moments to make sure, because ultimately they all love you, so you want to make sure that they get along together. So that's my tip of the week, because I just don't feel like it shouldn't be so automatic to cut people out just because now you're in a relationship. Like that always just sets off a red flag in my head anyway. If you're so quick to like, all right, I got a man, I got a girl, now my friends don't exist anymore. Or if you do bring them together and like they really aren't they're really bumping heads, then you got to reevaluate, like, okay, is this person not right for me? Or maybe I'm holding on to a friend who hasn't been good for me, and this is like opening my eyes to it. But that's my relationship tip of the week. Thoughtful, researched,
I feel the shade.
well spoken.
Oh, this is shade? Oh, there's shade in this?
That was me shading him.
That was so much shade.
But I admit I'm shading you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
You're a terrible person.
I'm not a terrible person.
Listen, I'm just here, just, you know, living my life the best way I know how.
Go right ahead.
You know. So, what?
I'm listening.
Oh no, I thought she was about to cut me off.
No.
My relationship tip is that for yourself, sometimes you have to reevaluate yourself, who you are, things that you like, things that you don't like, and even with friends. So it kind of piggybacks off of what you were saying, but not really.
So by your logic, I win?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because the difference is, my logic is, you're saying you got it from me, so that's how you were able to come up with the tip. I'm just saying that it's similar. Sometimes, you know, like you said, you have friends that you may have grown up with, but now y'all are in your 30s or whatever age, and y'all don't like the same things. Y'all don't do the same things. Doesn't mean that y'all can't still be friends, but you may not put the same energy that you would have before. Or, you know, you may want to do this, and now you got to reevaluate yourself to be like, this isn't what I like anymore. So I think sometimes you just got to sit back, reevaluate the thing that you liked or loved, and see, you feel the same way, or has it changed?
So saying like in relationships, even like friendships and stuff, you got to be okay with growth.
Sure.
You're welcome.
What's the backstory here? I feel a little bit of.
Oh, that's
I don't know.
nothing.
No, we good.
This is how we operate with each other.
But Dani's very shady at me.
Okay.
She be, you know, taking digs.
So that's why we call it Lovers Quarrel.
Nah, I be like, you know, I be straightforward with it.
Please.
But that just came from, like, I've been looking for a new job and stuff like that, and, you know, speaking with different recruiters and stuff, and they're, you know, they help me kind of see, like, maybe the job I'm looking for is not what I'm supposed to be doing, you know? So I'm like, I got to reevaluate that. So I'm like, you know, maybe you have a friend, or maybe you have, you know, something that me and Dani may have done years ago, we can't do anymore because things have changed and stuff like that. So
Right.
Yeah, I did. But, well, that was cute.
I won.
No.
Definitely won.
Kelley. I mean,
She was nodding her head the whole time I was talking.
she's being polite. That's all.
She was nodding the whole time.
That's called home training.
I think it's a tie. I think you both had really great advice.
That's because she knew you first.
Sure. Okay. Well, thank you. We appreciate your impartial opinion.
I'm pretty sure I met you guys at the same time.
Probably.
I mean, you've been together since you were like 5.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I do remember the first time I met you. We'll talk about that later. But, so with that being said, though, we're going to go ahead and take a quick look. Oh, wait.
Yeah, see? It's about to be shady again.
No, that was an honest mistake. Okay. It's now time. I forgot. This is our newest segment. TJ's
Word of the week.
Word of the week.
I can't have you messing this up.
What?
You know?
What do you need help?
That's crazy to me.
All right.
My word of the week
Enlighten us.
is surmise.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what that means? I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah.
I like that word.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So Dani surmises that her relationship tips are better than mine's.
Because they are.
They're definitely not.
But,
So surmise means to assume. You do a lot of that, so. My girl.
I'm not high-fiving.
Come on.
I'm not.
I said you're my girl.
No.
You're not my girl?
Because I don't know.
Are you my girl?
I'm your wife.
Are you? Oh, so you're not my girl?
I'm your wife.
All right, exactly.
That was a reluctant high five.
That's crazy to me.
All right, so everybody use surmise in a sentence this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, I hope not sporadically. Do you know where that's from?
No.
Do you know that's
Clueless.
Thank you. See,
Got it.
somebody gets it.
Got it.
All right. So with that being said, now for real, we're gonna go ahead and take a little break and hear from our sponsor.
Hey friend, it's time for you to ditch those workout gloves and get the grip and wrist support you deserve. What do you suggest? You need to get the Gainz Load and Lock grips by Gainz Sports Gear. They are more durable than gloves, have a non-slip grip pad that provides grip support and added wrist support unlike your traditional workout gloves, and will protect your hands from calluses. Do they come in different colors? Not only do they come in different colors, but they are available for men and women. Do yourself a favor, go to GainSportsGear.com. And remember, a better grip equals a better lift. Embrace the process.
And as always, you can get 10% off your first order by entering the code LOVERS10 at Gainz Sports Gear. That's GAINZ sportsgear.com. And now, back to the show.
Welcome back, y'all.
Oh, okay.
My fault.
You messing me up here.
My fault.
Okay.
I didn't get the cue or nothing, so I wasn't
I was
sure.
looking at you. You was looking at your phone.
No, I was looking at you.
I blinked twice. You missed it.
We've never talked about two blinks.
You're supposed to be able to read my mind.
Oh, okay, my fault.
Okay.
I'll take the L on this one.
Good. So, with that being said, now you've heard this lovely voice chiming in earlier, but we here have Kelley Daly, who is mother and entrepreneur.
I don't like the way that sounds.
Right? I try to really, you have a lot of important roles. So, Kelley is the owner of we call it it's like high-end
Luxury consignment.
Luxury consignment. Thank you. I didn't want to make sure I didn't say that wrong. Called Rebound Junkie, which we will put all of that information in the show notes so you can follow Rebound Junkie and get your luxury consignment on.
Yes.
So thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Of course. And Kelley is a longtime friend of TJ and I because we met through my sister, and pretty much, again, we just talked about how we met, or at least my first memory. I was like,
what year were you a freshman at Towson?
2005.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I was 18.
Very long time.
Very, very long time. So, with that being said, we wanted to kind of start off talking about your business because first of all, I've only seen one other luxury consignment. So I think that it's a really dope avenue and kind of that you're kind of trailblazing in, I want to say. So I guess, but tell us a little bit more about Rebound Junkie and then where did the inspiration come from to start it?
So Rebound Junkie, we started, my partner and I,
yes.
I have a partner. We started in 2016
Mm-hmm.
and it really just started because we had a bunch of designer stuff that we weren't wearing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just stuff that was kind of too good to give away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not the kind of stuff you just pass down. You want to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
So we just had this idea. I'm like, we could put together a website. We can sell it.
Mm-hmm.
We can get other people to sell their stuff, all our friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of just grew from there.
That's important because I think too, I guess they're pieces or staples that always will never go out of fashion.
Yeah.
And then there's things that come around, they fall out of popularity and then they come back through. But then you have some stuff.
And you'd be surprised, even those kind of things sell too. The things that are super trendy, or it's you remember it from a certain era. Some people really still want those things. It might be let's say the saddlebag. You know how the Dior saddlebag had a comeback recently. But for a while, nobody was carrying a Dior saddlebag, anything like that. But if somebody sees it for sale, they're like, oh my God, I wanted that bag so bad when it came out back in the day.
True,
I didn't get
true.
to. And some people will still buy things for that reason.
Yeah. So even nostalgia, you're oh damn, I could never afford it then, but now it's
me, I'll see stuff that I wasn't able to get at the time it came out, and I might see it on a consignment, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta have it. So yeah.
True that. So what brands do you guys carry? I know it's probably any and everything, but what are some most popular brands that you guys?
So we try to stick to, just high end. So it's like, Gucci, Prada, Dior, Louis Vuitton. We carry a lot of Supreme stuff at times, which is not necessarily high end, but it's cool. And I feel like, sometimes when you buy it after the fact, it can be high end because it's marked up so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gucci, Fendi, Louis, all that kind of stuff. Christian Louboutin.
Have you like, and actually you just because bringing that point up, like, so obviously Gucci's been in a lot of hot water lately.
Oh my gosh, I know.
So I'm not saying that you wouldn't sell like anything Gucci because you're like, oh no, or whatever, because you still have this product that you have to, sell and make a profit off of. But would you arguably, like, if one of those particular items, like that sweater, like, would you be like, I'm not really trying to buy this off of you, or like, if somebody was like, hey, I gotta.
Well, if somebody comes through with the black face sweater, they gotta forget it. So, I mean, Rebound Junkie, we're 100% black owned, so there will be no Gucci baklava. Is that what it's called? A baklava?
Yeah. So
there will be none of that on our website. But
okay, yeah, and I was just curious because I'm like, dang,
I would have to pass.
Yeah, that's a very, because it's, and like you'd almost think that it wouldn't be like, oh, it's clothes, it's fashion, it's it's bags and shoes, but it's like, nope. I'm like, nowadays they really stepping in it. So
yeah, I'm not. It's that Gucci thing is weird because if you look at the line as a whole, so many things came out that look similar to that aren't that. They had the ski masks that came like across your face halfway from the top. They were blue, they were white, red, and orange, like all different kind of colors. Yeah. I don't know. The Gucci thing, I don't know. Yeah,
it's definitely, it's touchy sometimes. So I know you. So you have Rebound Junkie, but are you involved or in partnership with like any other businesses as well?
I am, although I can't talk about it just yet because it's still. But maybe you guys will have me back and I can talk all about it.
Absolutely.
But yes, definitely have my hands into some other things for sure.
Okay. What led you to start making, like, what led you to become an entrepreneur?
Well, I feel like my life just changed a little bit. There was a time in my life where a 9-to-5 was like so perfect for me. It was like I had the weekends off, I could travel and hang with my friends, and everything was set, my schedule was set. And then it's like I just woke up one day and I'm like, nope, I don't want to do this. Like, this is not working for me. Like, I want to have a little more flexibility and freedom, especially with my son, because they have events all throughout the day, all on the weekends. And, I want to make myself more available to do those things with him and be available in the middle of the day for a bake sale. Yeah. So
that's important. At this point, are you full-time entrepreneurship, or are you like kind of like one foot out of like the corporate world?
No, I'm still in the corporate world.
Okay.
And then, Rebound Junkie, I guess for the most part is on the side, I guess you could say. But definitely in the short term looking to make that full time.
The leap from got it.
Yeah.
And it's important, I think, but it's a like, I looked at it. It was like, it's a responsible risk. Like, you have, like, you've built the base, you've got the product, you're going and you're doing that. And then I've just seen so many more people kind of make that shift for the same reasons, because they want to be flexible. But, but then at the same time, it's hard being your own boss because,
it is hard. And, I have a son that is top priority, first priority, the only priority. So I don't think it's a bad thing. And this is to anybody who wants to step out and be an entrepreneur. It's not a bad thing to stay at a job until you get to where you need to be, where you can just have that. You have to, there's so many things when you have a child that you have to take care of.
Absolutely.
So I have to know that I'm making a certain amount, that I have no worries when it comes to my son and taking care of him, because that's pretty much all it is for me.
Yeah, definitely. The first thing that always comes to my mind is like things like, it's not even the pay, it's like it's like insurance, what I mean?
Insurance,
and which is like super expensive if you're your own boss, or you're running your own business. Because one thing that like I definitely don't take for granted being a teacher is like one of the best perks is that we have like bomb insurance, like and for even just like me, TJ and Tatum, it like it's not that much off out of my check. It's it's really quality insurance. I can pretty much go anywhere and so on and so forth. So like to kind of make that move, that's the type of stuff that you have to when you do have to think about your family, because it's hella expensive. Like,
that's very expensive. Yeah. Very, very expensive.
So you kind of you've dipped your toe into the entrepreneur pond. You're swimming. You're sustaining. But of course, this is a relationship podcast, so we're gonna tie that into it. So, have you ever, since you started Rebound Junkie, found that when it comes up in conversation, like if you're talking to somebody or somebody is maybe interested in you romantically, that they're intimidated almost? Like, has anybody ever seen that they were intimidated, or they were kind of like, or even necessarily maybe like look down on it, like they didn't take it serious? Like, how does that come into like when you interact? Because sometimes men can be, I feel like, a little threatened by a woman who's like, I'm fine, I have my own, I'm good, I have my own and then some, quite honestly.
Yeah, I definitely have my own, that's for sure. I mean, I don't have to depend on a man for anything, but I don't know. I don't think that I've experienced anyone that was intimidated. No, I haven't experienced that.
Oh, that's good. That's always a positive.
Yeah. No, I think, the men that I come across are pretty confident within themselves and appreciate a woman that can take care of herself as well. So
true.
I mean, if you were intimidated by me working, I don't think you would be the one for me.
No. Not at all. So
at all.
And then having your own business and doing that and kind of straddling these two worlds now, do you feel like it's had an impact on your dating life, either from like, or your relationship, from where, like, who you're looking at, where you meet people? Like, has there been any type of like influence since you've seen?
I think I've always been attracted to a very confident, successful man. I mean, who isn't?
Facts.
But I think the fact that I get up every day and bust my ass, like I literally bust my ass Monday through Sunday, like there are no days off. Rebound Junkie is my baby, so I don't really there is no downtime. If you email me at 4:00 in the morning on Sunday morning, Saturday morning, I'm gonna respond, like or if it's like, oh, can I get the measurements off of this bag, like I'm gonna go and find you the measurements. So I think that for me, like the man has to be as driven, as hardworking, kind of want the same things. Like if you're just at home on the couch doing nothing, like I'm not going to be attracted to that.
Fair. That's fair. Would you, this kind of came on top of my head, so like, that people who are going like kind of pursuing their own passions and having their own businesses, of course, like it can be like rocky, especially once they take the leap. Like if they like fully leave the 9 to 5 and move into that, but it could be kind of like rough at that point where like they're working towards something, but they may not be there yet. Is that something that you're like, if you met somebody who was like, I'm on my way, you know what I mean, but like I'm not there yet? How does that play for you?
I don't know. No, I have to be honest. I don't know if
that's fair. That's a fair answer.
Because it's a realistic answer.
It is. It just because
I think somebody like you know what, I don't know, because it's like the politically correct answer is to say yes, you're gonna grind it out, but I don't know, you have to be somewhere. I mean, we're not little kids anymore.
I think
very true.
I think age plays into it. You have a son, so you have a child.
Like how startup are we talking?
Yeah, no. I'm not talking about like I just got my GoDaddy website and that's it. Like that's not just that. But I'm just thinking like, okay, and not even thinking about it in like the financial sense. Just like so like you said, like it's your baby. Like you eat, sleep, and breathe. Rebound Junkie. So like if another person is eat, sleeping, and breathing there, sometimes it's hard to like find time to like, hey, let's us hang out and not talk about just work or just our businesses and things like that. So that could be sometimes a point of contention.
Kind of a tough question. I haven't, it's so funny. I haven't really come across anybody in my dating situation that is at that kind of startup point. So I don't really know, but I mean, I feel like it could work. I don't know.
Yeah. You might cross that bridge when you get there.
Yeah.
Or if it comes up ever. If that bridge, you ever get in front of that bridge.
Or if you don't want to, you don't have to.
That too either.
That's fair too.
It's not about, we're not trying to make you get politically correct or anything like that. But it just kind of crossed my mind because I'm like, we've had other.
It's okay to be picky. It's okay to be,
discerning. SAT word.
Yeah, that's too big of a word. No, I'm messing with you.
So with that being said, we're gonna switch gears a little bit because there's many sides to Kelley. And
Are there?
Yes, there are. So we always talk about how we want to have people who've had different relationship experiences on the show because while TJ and I are one type of experience, it sometimes can be a limited scope, And so for you, Kelley, you are our first person who's been married but then been widowed, who's lost their spouse. And so in that experience, I'd imagine that there's a different feeling behind losing someone suddenly versus just kind of falling out or breaking up or divorcing and stuff like that. So with that being said, being that was, your experience, how has that kind of maybe shaped or changed your outlook on relationships, or if at all? So where was your maybe head then versus now, as far as how you look at relationships based on your own experience?
So I think that, losing my husband was one of the worst things I have ever in my life gone through. I can't imagine much worse, things that can happen to you.
Agreed.
But when I was married, when I was with my husband, we had a really amazing relationship. I feel like that was my best friend. He catered to me. He was an amazing father for the very short time that, he was here and a father. So I think that because of that, when I go into relationships now, there's no pressure, if that makes sense. I can date for fun. I've already been in love. I've already been married. I have an amazing son. So I don't feel those pressures that a lot of women that are in my age group feel when they're trying to date. When you haven't been married, you haven't had a kid, you haven't had any of these experiences, and you're out here and you feel so much pressure. And is this the one? Well, I want to have babies with him. I don't know how to bring it up so soon. All that pressure is gone for me. If I don't have any more children, I'm okay with that. So I think when I date, it just takes the pressure off. I can really just relax and kind of coast through and let me see, do I like you?
Yeah.
You get to be choosy.
I get to be extremely choosy.
And that's fair.
Yeah, and you get to you get to kind of really maybe feel someone out to see okay, is this going somewhere? Is it not? And and honestly, in hearing that, and I wasn't expecting that response, but I kind of think it's a nice or surprisingly pleasant outcome to a really rough situation, and in that you don't have to feel the same my biological clock is ticking. What am I doing? Where are we going? This and that. You don't have to.
It was just the timing. I was still young, so. And maybe if we hadn't had a child or something, I would still feel kind of maybe pressure to have a child if I didn't have one already.
Yeah.
But just for me, where I am right now, I don't feel those pressures. And I think out of that situation, also, I've realized that, I don't believe that there is only one soulmate or one person out there for you.
True that. That's fair. So, I feel like I'm dominating the questions. Go ahead. My bad.
TJ, do you have something you'd like to ask?
I guess with becoming a widow, is there something that you would, tell partners that they should prepare for, or things just in case something suddenly happens? I think, and I say that because I think there's a lot of things that we don't think about until it happens.
For sure. That situation just taught me a lot. Things that had never crossed my mind prior to. When somebody passes, there's really a whole business side to it. You don't really get a moment to grieve, at least not right away.
Nope.
because you're handling all the business, and there's so many things. So that definitely changed my outlook on who I date and how they have their lives set up. Like, do you have life insurance? Do you have a 401k? Do you have whatever, anything? Do you have your life in order?
Yes.
You know?
Facts.
Because, and I feel like so many people in the Black community, we don't have life insurance, and people are putting up GoFundMes when people pass.
Yes.
You know, because you're not prepared. So that situation has definitely taught me that whoever I'm going to date, or let alone marry, you know, they have to have their business in order, for sure. So, for sure.
Yeah, and it's really important
because it can be really hard. It can be really hard on whoever whoever it is that passes. It can be really hard on your spouse if you know they don't have time to grieve. They have to figure out how they're going to bury you.
Yeah, or how they're going to pay bills. Like, how are we going to cover the mortgage? How are we going to do this, that, and the other? You know, and like it wasn't exactly like that. Like when my dad passed away, but then there's definitely a like you know, and I think it. Especially with spouses, but like or like close relatives, like a parent or something like that, where you have these like these questions like, okay, well, where is this? Is that like you know, you like, and sometimes it's even down to like, I don't know where these fucking papers are. Like I don't even know. Like we never even talked about this. I don't know what this shit is. And so like
there's
to even
so many things. I mean, you can't just be all willy nilly. Oh, I love you. Let's get married. No, how much debt do you have? Like, do you have life insurance? Like all these things are
definitely
very real.
So, do you ever make comparisons, or have you ever made comparisons with somebody you're dating versus with your marriage, when your relationship and your marriage? Like, you know, because I can see that. I know you said there's no pressure, and so you just kind of see where things go. But have there been moments in time where you're like, this person isn't giving me what I had then, and so this isn't going to go anywhere?
I think it would be pretty impossible not to make comparisons, because I think any relationship that you're in, good or bad, you take away something from that relationship into the next relationship. Well, you two may not know about that because you've only been with each other.
And that's why we have guests on to talk about that.
You know, every relationship, good or bad, you take a piece of, I liked this in this relationship, or I didn't like this, I'm never going to do that again. You know, so I think it's impossible not to compare. But I don't make it a hindrance. Like, oh, you don't treat me like my husband did, I'm out of here. You know, because everybody is different. And, you know, there are great qualities about different people, you know, that I've met that I don't necessarily feel like I have to be like, you're not exactly him, I'm out of here.
Got it. Yeah. And that's fair. And you know, and I thought about that because, again, I was like, looking online and things like that, and what's his name? I guess they were just celebrating his birthday it was on Google. You know, like when you go, Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter and everything, and they were saying like his wife has never been on like a date since
he passed.
And I'm like, and I guess because she was like, I'm done, I'm good, I don't ever need anybody ever else again. And I was like, so that's where that kind of came from, because I'm like, wow, like, I mean, there's a lot of ways to approach it. That one felt very extreme to me, because I'm like, but I can respect it as well. But I'm just like, oof, like.
Well, she's a little older too, right?
She's a little older, but he was only like his like 40s, I think, when he died.
But I feel like you can't.
I mean, you can't dictate what somebody does, but
I'm saying you can't dictate how you're gonna feel. Like,
you can't.
We can say what we won't do, but until you go through a situation, you don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
How you may maneuver.
Yeah, it's just that one was just. I was like, wow. So
if I go, you already dating.
There's going to be
well, if one of you goes, you want the other one to date, right, and move on and get married and be happy, right?
Yeah, but it's the way she said it.
Okay.
She said it like. If I go, you dating right then and there. Like,
no.
At the funeral, you bringing him there.
No, I'm not gonna be swiping left or whatever, like from the church pew.
I was gonna ask. You know.
I'm like, let's get on all the apps. Plenty of Fish. What are these other ones called? So no, I'm not gonna be that tacky. But no, it would be. I would absolutely want you, if you were to find someone else, and you know, even if not one of us passed away, but if we got divorced or something like that, like I would want, as long as they were good to Tatum and good to you and not rude to me.
Well, that is mature.
You know, I try. I'm trying. Mature. I can't guarantee that he would be the same way.
What? That's shady.
TJ is a petty patty. He's very.
I would still speak though. I wouldn't be.
You would. You know what though? I take that back. You know what you fuck around and do? You fuck around and try to be best friends with the next nigga. Like you be like, and I'm like, oh, where we going? We're going. We about to who? Blah blah blah. And then I'm gonna hate you both, and then that's gonna be the end of it. But anywho, so and last question before we switch gears again, which you kind of already touched on.
She did, yeah.
Oh, so would you be open possibly to the thought of remarrying if the right person came along? Maybe.
If the right person came along, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I support that. So thank you for that. And so, again, we're going to switch gears. And I'm going to let TJ kind of take over. I'm going to roll it out, but I feel like I've been dominating the Q&A portion.
I mean, you have. And I feel like you merged one of the, two of the questions together. Oh. So I was just letting you go. I was letting you lead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And
then things come to me.
You say you want to run the point, and you can't run the point. So
you are something else,
So
sir?
as a single mother, how has the role impacted your outlook on relationships?
I think that I have not dated. Well, my son is from my husband. Mm-hmm. So I haven't dated. What am I trying to say? I think that. So, in dating new men, I don't like for them to meet my son right away. Mm-hmm. I don't think that it's necessary.
I agree.
Anytime that a man has come around my son for the first time, if I'm interested in them in that way, they've been it's been a group setting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a cookout, or it's a party. It's
mm-hmm.
not just
the three of y'all.
The three of us just sitting there.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot to kind of push onto a child.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So for me, I have to really know that I feel a certain way about you, before I want to bring you around my son. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that I don't know if. Yeah, I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's tough.
So, do you think, have you ever, or let me ask you this. So, kids are definitely a good judge of character a lot of times. So, have you ever had it where, you've been, to the point where it's hey, I like kind of this person, we'll do a little social setting, we'll see, let my son feel him out or whatever, and your son is just kind of off him at all. Is that how does that, his opinion or his reaction to somebody that you might have brought around, how does that would you completely, even if it's a hypothetical, if that were to be the case,
right,
would you mix it all together?
I think I've experienced both. I think I've experienced one, that he was super in love with, and I think I've experienced one where not necessarily turned off, but not super in love with.
Yeah.
I think it's super important. If you're a single mom and you're dating, it's not just about you anymore. Mm-hmm. You have to make sure that this man likes your son likes this man. Mm-hmm. And then there's also the whole thing of if that man has kids.
That too.
Does my son get along with their son?
Yeah.
Does my son, all these things come into play. And it can be really overwhelming, I guess, if you're really into a man and then everything else kind of isn't clicking, your son doesn't like him or the kids don't get along. Yeah. Something like that. But, for me, my son has to like you, obviously. Mm-hmm. We're a package deal. Mm-hmm. I haven't really run across a situation where it's they just couldn't get along.
Yeah.
I haven't run into anything like that. Yeah. So I can't speak on that. But, yeah, it's tough. You have to be really, really careful who you bring your kids around.
Absolutely.
Because, you could think that you know somebody and then
you don't.
And then you really, really don't,
And yeah, you don't. You want to make sure that you're not exposing them to people or bad elements that maybe, because people always send their representative at first whenever in any kind of interaction, you always put your best self forward, and then when you sometimes peel back the layers.
Yeah, I think it's really important to listen to your gut too when it comes to dating and your kids. Like if anything doesn't feel right, and hopefully you're a responsible parent that will put your child first, because there are some women who don't, but if you put your child first, and if anything doesn't feel right, or there's just tension, I mean, you gotta let it go.
True that. Do you think that how do I want to phrase this? In dating and relationships, so again, you do wear a lot of hats, right? So you've got your job, but you've got your business, you have your mom, you've got the big sales, you got all this other stuff, things that you're doing, and then of course your own social, you have friends. So do you find that just dating in general is just not even a high priority for yourself? Because a lot of times I feel I've heard, and I've been talking to people, sometimes it becomes such a low priority on the list of things. So do you or does it kind of come and go, depending on what's on your plate at a time?
For me personally, I have so much help. I really do have a lot of help with my family. So it's not hard for me to find personal time or downtime or dating time. I haven't really had, any issues with that. And then I feel like I haven't dated a lot of people. So I mean, it's the list is so short. So, if I'm that close to you, then chances are my son can come too, or whatever we're doing, he's around too. So it just really hasn't been hard for me personally to find time to do it. If you're dating the right person, it kind of just all flows naturally. It's not really a chore, I have to set aside time to go date. It's just, you just hang out.
True that. And here's a little hypothetical of very it also came to me too. So in Kelley's world, what would be a perfect date? So what do those things entail?
Well, I like long romantic walks to the Cartier store. And then a perfect date. So I'm really, really, really simple. And I feel like a lot of people...
Nothing wrong being simple.
I'm very simple.
I'm so simple. So a perfect date for me, it could be dinner and an art show. It could be dinner and a movie. Just take me to get some tacos. I'm much more comfortable with, let's throw on some sneakers, dinner and a movie, whatever. Let's go eat some crabs.
This is true.
Super, super simple dates would be my perfect ideal date.
Nice. And it's so funny, I feel like I haven't asked too many people that before.
I always tell people I'm a cheap date. You can say, we can go to a free art show.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking we've had other guests on. I've never necessarily we haven't really asked that person, other people who've been on before, what are their ideals of that? Because we talk about that sometimes, because I feel like sometimes our idea of a good date is different, because I think
what's a good date to you?
So I'm probably more in line with you. I'm very I'm a cheap date. Feed me, take me to a movie, or we can go to I don't know, it's not dumb stuff, but I would have fun going go-karting, or just something silly or interactive, because we can do that. We don't have to go.
TJ wants to go to Bygone.
No. What do you want to do?
I just want to spend time with you. At
Doing
this
what?
point, in this point in my life, listen.
You just want my attention.
Exactly. That's all I want.
Listen, so I can appreciate that. But what would be your perfect date?
I don't know. I'm so
You are very indecisive. He's very indecisive. I think that's his issue.
But I'm simple though. If you said this is what
indecisiveness drives me crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's bad.
Drives me crazy.
So that would probably be why he can't tell you that, because today it might be one thing, but tomorrow it would be the next. It would be something totally
I'm very
different.
much in the moment. Let's do it in the moment. But if I'm let's do this on Monday, I'm saying we're gonna do this on Friday, and then Friday comes,
oh, see, I'm a planner.
I don't really want to do this no more.
See, I'm okay with I'm a little okay with like being spontaneous, but I think I'm more on like the plan. See, what I hate is if you tell me, Dani, on Friday, me and you going to the movies, and I'm like, that cool, and then I have my mind made up that like Friday movies, that's it, and then on like Thursday afternoon, you're like, actually, we're gonna go bowling on Saturday or something. Like that bothers me more than anything else because I feel like I have my mind.
So you're a control freak.
No, I'm not even a control freak. I just have my mind.
Control freak.
I'm not. If I have my mind set on something, I don't like it when you like. Don't always call an audible.
Whereas me, I'm just like, I'm gonna go with the flow. All right, cool. No movies. Let's go bowling then.
Okay, well, call it what you want.
But you're a control freak. I got it.
Call it what you want. That's just only my like peeve about it. But yeah, I definitely. But I do enjoy bowling. Just tell me like 3 business days in advance. That's
3
all.
business days.
But with that being said, though, last official question for you. So, thinking ahead in the next like 5 to 10 years, what do you see for Kelley personally and professionally?
5 to 10. That's a big
we could do 5 if we could do 10, like whichever one you think.
Okay,
you could do 7, break even.
7. Okay, 7. Personally, within 7 years, I would hope to be married and 1 more kid. If we're saying 7 years.
Okay. I like it.
And then professionally, within 7 years, I will be 100% my own boss. Professionally,
maybe do you want to open like a brick and mortar of like?
Not really. Not really. But within 7 years, our showroom will be open. We've been looking for a showroom, not necessarily a store, because I just don't think a store is really necessary. I mean, we're an online boutique, but I have been looking for a showroom for a while now. It's so hard to find the perfect location, especially in the city. But within 7 years, that's the plan.
So what's the difference between a showroom and like a store?
So I guess like a store would be open kind of like Monday through Saturday from certain hours. A showroom is kind of just like by appointment only, or we can, where we can have special events like little happy hours, little pop-ups.
Got you.
But it's not like a Monday through Sunday the store is going to be open from blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And that makes sense too. The more you think about it too, there's so many companies even that were brick and mortar are moving away from that because it's sometimes like it's extra bill, right? Because you got to pay rent or you got to buy a building or
and
whatever.
I mean, we're just in this whole tech age, so nobody is. Well, I know me. I don't step foot in a mall really. I prefer to shop online.
Amazon Prime is the best thing ever.
Yeah,
pretty much you can order anything. So I mean, I get it because I know, and like walking around the malls, it almost is, like, to me sometimes it gives me like anxiety.
It's too much.
It's way too much. But I'm glad, and I'm confident that all of these things will happen for you in your 7-year business time plan, your 7-year plan. And we just want to thank you for coming on. This was fun.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course. As always, can you let everybody know where they can find Rebound Junkie on, drop all of that stuff, and then of course, as always, folks, will put it in the show notes.
Yes, so all of the social media handles are all the same at Rebound Junkie on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. ReboundJunkie.com is our website, and I have a discount code for your listeners.
Yes,
so
put in there.
Your listeners can type in freelovers at checkout for free shipping.
Ooh.
And I'll keep that code good for a week.
All right. So free ship, and y'all know how important shipping is because
yes, nobody wants to pay shipping.
And you have a cart full of stuff, and then you'll be like, shipping is $13. Nope, I'm not doing it. Putting it back, or you go start looking at Retail Me Now,
or the one where they're like, you're just $5 away from free shipping, but there's nothing for $5 on the site, so you go order something for like $30 just to get the free shipping.
Exactly. that is, and shipping.
See, I'm the one where it's like $24.99 and it's free shipping, and then it's like the same amount but it's like including shipping. I'm like, nah. Like This is too much.
It's got to be free. So you guys make sure y'all get on that. We will, of course, put everything in the notes. But thank you so much because we talked about a lot. You was very informative, and we appreciate you being on here.
Sure.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course. Well, I guess that wraps up another episode of Lovers Quarrel. With that being said, I am your girl, Dani.
I'm your guy, TJ.
And as always, we fuss.
We fight.
But we love.
Bye.
Don't take my sign off. Don't take.
I thought you said it, right?
Wait, what do you say? You go later.
Yeah,
All this
later.
bass in your voice.
Bye.
You're such a hater.
Wait, that's supposed to be you?
Yes, because he takes.
I didn't know what he was saying.
Yes, he takes. I say bye, and then he's like later, but he wants to be me so bad. So, all right. With that, we out.
And I yield.
Goodbye.